Hot Coffee tells the truth about the infamous McDonald's coffee case, the woman who spilled coffee and sued McDonald's. But it not only tells the truth, because most people have it completely wrong, but it uses 4 different stories to show and expose the influence that corporate America has had on our court system, particularly on our civil justice system. There really is no other film like it. It exposes information that is so fundamental, but for so many reasons, people haven't been able to access it. It's, who wants to hear tort reform or mandatory arbitration or, caps on damages? These are words that are not part of our normal conversation, and they sound really boring. One of the things that I knew was that people had to feel something for the characters in the film in order for them to get engaged. It's a movie that actually has the ability to inspire people. There have been some positive changes in the system and some negative changes in the system since the film came out. I would say overall, things have not changed dramatically. There are 2 states, Florida and Missouri, that have now overturned caps on damages, which is one of the sections of the film. I hope that maybe there are people who've watched the film and have tried to influence their legislatures in that way. In California, there have been these caps on damages in medical malpractice cases, and it's been the same cap since 1977. And there's a Proposition 46, that's on the California ballot right now that will hopefully raise that limit. And it's being fought very hard by large corporate interests. The one area that I think has gotten worse, and this affects almost everyone, are these mandatory arbitration clauses. They are now being added to almost every contract, almost every mortgage company. When you get a car loan, when you have a credit card, if you try to get your new iPhone, you can't activate your phone unless you agree to a mandatory arbitration clause. And these clauses are so anti-consumer and pro-business. If you ever have a problem or a dispute with this company, they pick the decision maker, they pay for the decision maker. The decision maker doesn't have to give a reason why he or she comes up with the decision. It's completely secretive and there's no right to appeal. And that's a really bad thing in our system, and it's being used now everywhere. And so we really need to get legislation to stop that from continuing to happen. After I made Hot Coffee, a lot of people said, well, what are you going to do next? How are you going to follow up with this really important information? I was approached by a narrative filmmaker. It was Mariam Keshavars, and her film Circumstance won the Audience Award at Sundance the same year that Hot Coffee was there as a documentary. And she saw Hot Coffee and said, oh, this would make an amazing narrative film, particularly the section about the judge from Mississippi who was targeted by large corporations because he wasn't pro-corporate enough, and how he was politically prosecuted. And so we've been working on a narrative film. We have a script now, and we are hoping to start casting within the next several months, and hope to go into production in the winter or spring of 2015. And the purpose of the film it's going to be, again, an entertaining narrative feature film. It's a political thriller, and it tells the true story of what's really happening in our society, but it tells it in a feature, which I hope will get the message out to an even larger audience.